Need to escape from here, yeah.
So you'll be on the desktop.
Right.
Off to the right somewhere. It'll be under your name. Got it?
Oops. Thank you very much. I want to thank Dick and the organizers for giving me this chance to let you know a little bit about what we're doing at BTEC, which is the Biomanufacturing Training and Education Center on the Centennial campus at NC State University. We've been open since July of 2007. And this center reports directly to the Dean of the College of Engineering, Louis Martin Vega. So what I want to do today is let you know what we do, what it is, what the center is, how we got there, and then kind of give you a quick status report on what we've been doing in the last few years. So what BTEC is a CGMP, Good Manufacturing Practices biopharmaceutical facility. And it's simulated because we're not actually producing phase 1 or phase 2 clinical trial materials. We're using this primarily for education and training. Education at the undergraduate and graduate level, and training for folks in industry that are making biopharmaceuticals. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, these are drugs like antibodies, for example, that are made in recombinant organisms in mammalian cell culture or fermentation broths. And they have to be very, very pure, and they're very well regulated by FDA. In addition to education and training, we also do process services, analytical services for companies. So this is sort of looking at new processes and new innovations in technology. And we're actually the first and largest group in the world focused on education and training. And as a result of that, we've been getting a lot of national and international attention for this operation. So the factors that led to the establishment of BTEC are as follows. Back in the in the 1980s, North Carolina began to grow a very strong biotechnology industry, mostly focused on manufacturing, as opposed to Massachusetts and California that have stronger research groups. Our focus is mostly in the actual production of biopharmaceuticals. Because of the growth of the companies, there was a big need for a highly trained workforce. And they have to be highly trained because, as you just mentioned, these are highly regulated environments in which these things need to be made. And of course, the state is interested in maintaining and being responsive to the needs of the industry, not only to keep happy the companies that are there, but also to attract other companies to the state. And as a result, what they really want was not only people that are well-trained in theory or well-trained in the sciences, but they wanted people coming out of the schools at all levels, including community colleges, to have hands-on experiences on large-scale process equipment that would be like GMP equipment with GMP type experiences. So they know exactly what it is to do a batch record, how to maintain and validate equipment, how to do quality control and analysis and so on. And you can see from some of the numbers there, this is a very large industry with large numbers of jobs in North Carolina. So who made BTEC happen? Well, the lead group here that made this happen was actually corporations, represented by NC Bio, which stands for the North Carolina Biosciences Organization. This is a trade group, lobbyists, if you wish, that can lobby the legislature. And within NC Bio, there's a group called the Biotechnology Manufacturers Forum, or BMF, which consists of a large number of very large companies that are making these biopharmaceuticals in North Carolina. They work together with the North Carolina Biotechnology Center, which is a 501c3 corporation, founded in North Carolina in 1983 to help link companies with universities in North Carolina, and also to help the Department of Commerce take actions to attract companies to the state and to keep companies in the state with whatever the state can do to make them successful. NCBC and NC Bio then approached 3 universities, NC State University, North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina, and the North Carolina Community College System. I need to mention that within NC State at the time, Peter Kilpatrick, that most of you know, was actually played a major role at NC State in getting the BTEC off the ground. So what happened was that a request was made to the North Carolina legislature for workforce and training systems to address the industry needs. And in 2004, a $70 million investment was made in universities. And the money came from the Golden Leaf Foundation, which is a foundation that ended up with all the tobacco settlement money in North Carolina. And they provided the resources to build BTEC. Now, but it's more than BTEC, because what is there's a system called NC BioImpact now, which consists of 3 components. The first one is BTEC at NC State, and that building costs $39 million. The second one is focused on a historically black university, North Carolina Central University, and it's called the Biomanufacturing Research Institute and Technology Enterprise, or BRIGHT. That was a $20 million building. These guys are focused more on drug discovery, and they started a pharmacy program. The focus of BTEC is more on production, engineering component, sciences involved in manufacturing. And then $11 million went to the community college system, to a group called the Bio Network, which involves 8 different community colleges throughout the state. And these monies enable them to do more, to do training of workforce at the technician and operator level in the community colleges. So that is the sort of the program, the groups that got involved in the funding it. And I just wanted to give you a couple of quick facts here. BTEC has 63,000 square feet of labs and about 9,000 of classrooms. We have roughly about $15 million in equipment. About half of that was donated by industry at the beginning. And our operating funds are about $60 million, or $6 million per year. I wish it was $6 million per year. This is used to pay the salaries of 46 employees. It's a big operation because this thing is really like a pilot plant. We need technicians all the way from making buffers and media all the way to actually running the large-scale equipment. About 50% of them have industry experience, which is kind of unusual for a university. But this is great for the students because they get to hear about this manufacturing stuff directly from guys that actually make a living or have made a living doing it. So it brings an extra flavor to it. Our system is very unusual because we have equipment at 3 different scales: 2-liter scale, 30-liter scale, and 300-liter scale. So we can actually do scale-up studies. And in addition to that, the 2-liter scale is for introductory classes. 30-liter scale is more like process operations classes where people see the variance of operating conditions. And the 300-liter scale is actually to make a batch. We make a batch of real protein all the way from the startup of the phase all the way to the end. And this is where they gown up. They do everything just like a GMP operation. They keep batch records, et cetera. And it's very unusual, again, for a university to do this. So we cover all the aspects of it, from the bioreactor, which is the upstream side, the purification, which is downstream, a lot of courses on analytical methods, quality control, quality analysis, and of course we spend a lot of time on regulatory things. And it's also unusual because part of our space in that building is shared with the community college, which is a strange marriage of sorts. But this is so that community college students can have access to the large-scale equipment as well, and we schedule that for their use. So today, what we do is we offer undergraduate and graduate minors and certificates. We do not offer degree programs, so we don't compete with deans for students. In fact, what we do is we grab students from all the colleges, and they can get biomanufacturing minors from us. So you can be a biologist, a microbiologist, a chemical engineer, and get a minor in biotechnology. We do have one degree program, which is a professional science master's, funded by NSF. It was the first master's in biomanufacturing in the U.S. And the enrollment this year is actually 764, not 740. We've had a 30% growth in enrollment since we started in 2007, 30% per year. And last year we trained 400 students from industry. We're also training FDA employees, and this grant is going to go through 2017. We've got a grant from BARDA to train folks in vaccine manufacturing from 13 different countries, as well as now the regulators from those countries, the FDAs from Thailand and Singapore, et cetera. We're also doing about 15 to 20 contracts per year in process analytical services, so we're providing services to industry. As soon as they saw our equipment, say, hey man, we can do things here. And we started getting just over the trans some folks wanted to use our equipment for services. We've also gotten a lot of interest from other countries and other states to do things like BTEC does. So we now started BTEC International to form a network of groups that are interested in, and like-minded in workforce development and process services for biopharmaceuticals. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Great.